Most of the properties that we feature on this channel are usually brand new construction, just getting completed. And the one we're about to show you in this video stands out for one important reason. It's only 2.5 years old. It feels like, it functions like, it lives like a brand new home, but it resolves one large problem with new construction, which is longer timelines, the possibility of delay. And this one's ready to go right now. This is the Jefferson Reverse by Bickimer Homes. It's 5 beds, 4.5 baths, just under 4,000 finished square feet. It was built in 2022 in Century Farms, which is one of the most in-demand new home communities in Overland Park, and it is currently on the market for $1.3 million. And as always, we're going to give you a shot of the main living spaces, but we are going to start at the entry. And in this video, in the one you'll see next Saturday, we've got a special guest. This is Rochelle. She is the on-site agent and community manager here at Century Farms. And you've been here since the beginning, but this one is a little bit different than most homes in the community.
Yes, it's actually a resale home. So while Century Farms is still building, they've been building about 4.5, 5 years. We're approaching our final phase, but this is a special resale. So this seller got relocated. You're going to see an amazing home today that's just over 2 years old. It's a Jefferson plan by Bickimer Homes.
That's right. A couple unique things. We're going to point them out throughout the video, but Rochelle is the listing agent. We appreciate you letting us show this one. And we've got another one coming your way next week as well. But for now, we're going to put the floor plan on the screen right here. One of the rarest things is this one's a 5-bedroom. Usually with a plan like this, usually you're only getting 4 bedrooms, and we'll explain exactly why that's the case here in just a second. But officially starting with the entry, we've got the French door set up. They're 8-foot doors throughout this main level. You've got this beautiful transom window up top. This floor plan, in case you watched the channel and you've seen some of the other videos, we actually toured a home by this builder. It came in at a different price point, is a little bit bigger, called the Riviera. This is where that plan originally started. So there will be some similarities, but every home nowadays, we always want to see an office or secondary bedroom off the main floor. And this is a good one. We've got upgraded West Elm light fixtures throughout the entire home, which is not standard. It's very rare to see that, but I hear that the sellers have a very specific taste. They did a great job planning this one, and it clearly shows. The other nice thing about this is you have a private bathroom. It's en suite, so it's not shared with the rest of the main floor. And the reason we have this is because there's an additional half bath off of the kitchen. But the last thing that I want to mention is you've got this nice sitting nook area, which is such a nice feature. We've seen them do that in the Riviera before. So that is certainly nice to have. The last thing here is we've got a coat closet right off the entry. Again, the 8-foot doors creates a lot of volume. But the really big part of this plan is the flow from the great room into the outdoor living spaces. This is one of 2. We're gonna get to that later on in the video. They went ahead and screened this all in. You've got full view screens, so there are no framing pieces. All you're seeing are the beams. And then I love the ceiling height in this one, which really, as we walk around the corner here, it draws attention to the fireplace just outside. It creates a lot of visual privacy here. Since this is an interior lot, it does back up to another home. You do have some trees, some landscaping. That fireplace creates a lot of visual privacy. Composite decking, everything's loaded here. We're gonna see a little bit more of this downstairs. But getting to the great room here, one of the things I really like, especially about this builder, we're gonna talk more about that here later in the video, is all of the built-ins, all of the trim work they typically do. These are fairly high for what we typically see, which means you're getting a little bit more storage. And they went ahead, added the faced framed shelving in there. And you even have these puck lights that are hidden by that trim piece up top. So it's very visually very, very clean and neat. That's kind of the theme in this house, not just with the furniture or the design, but really it as a whole. And then the last thing that I want to draw attention to is we've got this washed brick fireplace, the nice trim all the way up to the ceiling, just a neutral palette throughout the entire house. But one of the rare things about this plan specifically has to do with the kitchen. So the nice thing is you get this cased opening, so you get separation between that family room and the kitchen. The other thing is they went ahead and upgraded the ceilings in here, which is so neat. It's very rare that we see a vaulted ceiling, like a true vaulted ceiling. Most of the time with new homes nowadays, what we're starting to see is just tall ceilings. Usually they're more of a boxed shape, but having this true vault with the beam carried wall to wall, really nice look. You saw the slider going from the family room to the outdoor living space. We've also got another one here. So it's not just the wall of windows, it's not just the hutch around the corner. You've got two separate sliders. So whether you're eating here, whether you're in the great room over there, you've got access to that deck. But getting to the kitchen, this is one of the biggest islands that I've shown on the channel. Not necessarily like lengthwise, but certainly widthwise. This is a lot of space. Believe it or not, there are some islands that we see in homes, like this is as wide as you get sometimes, depending on the size of the kitchen. But this is a pretty big plan, and that's certainly reflected there. You got the gold fixtures, you're gonna see those throughout the house for the most part. And then you've also got on the perimeter quite a bit of space too. So the brick you saw on the fireplace, it's on the backsplash. And then you've got the 5-burner gas cooktop, trimmed out hood. And here's what's really different about this plan. It's not just the 5th bedroom downstairs, but we've got a pocket office. You saw Rochelle in the intro, she told me about this term, and we're gonna be using it quite a bit on the channel. The pocket office, it's a great spot for it. You get the desk, then around the corner, you have a pantry. The nice thing about this one is you actually have real countertop material throughout. And the sellers, they just did a phenomenal job with the staging and making sure the house looks really good. I love that you get the real built-in cabinets there and the combo with the desk. But around the corner, and Alex, I'll have you slip right here because it's a tight space. You've got the garage entry. To one side, we've got an actual mudroom, which is rare to see. Usually it's a mud hall, but this gives you a little bit of extra space. They've got the keyboard set up. You get this huge mud bench, and then you even get the locker. And I always like to mention this on the videos. The lockers are really nice because they hide everything, but sometimes you'll see builders where they'll actually do lockers on top of the bench as well, and it takes away your seating area. I think this is the perfect blend. You've even got the paneling going up, so you get a little bit more texture, and I love that they went ahead and stained this. Matches the floors, and also paint tends to over time chip, so this is certainly good to see. It's just gonna be more durable. This is the half bath we mentioned when we were talking about the office. It's got an ensuite. This is a big deal. It means you're not sharing that private bath in bedroom 1 with guests that are coming over or anybody else. The final thing here before we get to the master, we've got the rest of the kitchen perimeter. So upgraded Bosch appliances, stacked microwave oven, and then we've got the coffee bar right here. A little bit about this community. Rochelle, she mentioned a little bit of this in the beginning of the video. We've done a couple here at Century Farms before, but I want to put some drone footage on this screen because this is really the theme of the video. This is a very high in demand community here in Overland Park. Out of all of the new home communities here, this one's located, it's one of the furthest north. It's very close to Blue Hawk, brand new shopping center. They've got a bunch of new developments planned and new phases of that development coming very soon. Luxury amenities, you've got a beautiful clubhouse, exposed beams throughout, luxury pool as well. And then one thing that's unique, you've got nice trails throughout this community, as well as a garden, which we almost never see. And that has to do a little bit with the history of this specific development. But the overarching theme of this video is new versus semi-new homes and the lack of homes that are move-in ready. And that couldn't be more true here in Century Farms, because most of the ones that you'll see online on the community website, usually they're sold by the time they get to around 60 days out from being complete. And that's one of the largest advantages of this home. But more on that here later, because we are going to head to the master. This all loops around to the laundry room. We're going to finish here, but we're going to get started. You walk through this hallway, it gives you some separation. And what's really nice, you can see sellers did a great job with the design, the interior design. I had asked if they brought an interior designer in, and this was all of the sellers, and it's very impressive. It really shows. So right here, we've got a nice sitting area. We saw this in the Riviera property that we showed a couple months ago. This is always nice to see. You get the daylight, add some functionality to the room. But what I like what they did here. So you've got the 2 windows, but up where the bed goes there, you don't have any natural light coming through to worry about. Shades are already installed. It's one of the things we'll break down. Of course, they've got the upgraded light fixture, the box vault, and of course, they match the ceiling with the wall paint. But coming into the master bathroom, you got the double doors. They're still 8 feet tall. Modern light fixture up top. But here's really where it shines. So you get the full vanity, makeup counter right there. I thought these were really neat. You've got these gears on the faucet here, sticking with the gold theme throughout. Trimmed out mirrors around the corner. We've got the extra wide vanity, and then of course the freestanding tub. One thing I like to always see, they went ahead, they frosted this window. You've got the decorative pattern in there. You don't have to worry about that one. And then we've got a very sizable shower here with a Euro door that's frameless and the gold fixtures inside. But last part of the master suite, they've upgraded everything in the water closet. Straight back, I'm gonna get out of the way. Beautiful closet, tall ceilings. You've got plenty of storage space in here. And usually with a home, these are the parts of the house where it's like hard to show because you're still living in the house. Sellers did a great job with this. The home shows really well. But around the corner, we have the laundry room. The nice thing here, they went ahead and added a pocket door, make it nice and fit, and they stuck with the 8 feet height there. But what's different about this one, we have 2 built-ins, then we have an extra wide sink with the countertop. Usually when you see these in a laundry room, usually you're getting about this much space. So this is like double the length that we typically see. Patterned tile floor, and then we've got a linen closet straight back as well. Just try to be respectful of everybody. So this is why we show new homes most of the time, is because it gets a little tricky when the home is occupied, but this is clearly an exception because of how well they did. I'm gonna put the lower level plan on the screen right here. One thing that I do wanna mention, as we are making a bit of a transition here, is the flooring. We've got hardwood treads. You had engineered hardwoods throughout the main floor. They upgraded them in the master bedroom. And down here, we've got some luxury vinyl planking. I thought they matched it really, really well. But I do want to start with the wet bar here. This is nice and cozy. We saw the brick on the fireplace. You had the brick pattern on the kitchen backsplash. And they've continued it down here, but you've got the more bar style. So darker cabinets, you've got the bar top that's a leathered granite. And then of course the aged brick backsplash and the custom cabinets to show off all the bottles there. I like that you do also have wine cooler. You've got a beverage fridge to your right. And then the island is actually a little bit taller than normal. So you get that bar height, feel, and aesthetic. But we mentioned the rare part of this plan is you get 5 total bedrooms. One of these is one that they typically tend not to finish right off the bat, but they did in this house. So most of the time with a reverse 1.5, we usually only see 4 bedrooms. Usually you get the master up top, you get a secondary bedroom off the entry or behind the garage, and then you get 2 downstairs. They went ahead and added in the 5th. So this tends to be unfinished storage, but you can fit this whole screening room / media center. You've got the closet on one side, which is a walk-in. That's always welcome to see. And then around the corner, we do have access to the shared bath for the lower level. So the other 2 bathrooms are the other 2 bedrooms. We'll get to that here in just a second, but Alex, I'll have you walk through here. The gold hardware continues. You can see it on the poles, you can see it on the shower itself, tile, and then this one actually has a tub, which is super nice. But this all brings us back to the living room, which we've got quite a bit of functional space down here. I love that this was originally a daylight lot. We're gonna get to the walkout and walk up situation, the sunken patio here in a second. But ton of light, it doesn't feel like a basement. It's one of the reasons why these are such a popular plan here in Kansas City. But we do have 2 other bedrooms, and these are actually pretty big. So you get this nice hallway, it creates separation. And then very sizable room. We got the daylight windows, which is such a perk, even though this is the lower level. 9-foot ceilings, which is a big deal. And again, I love the paint color they chose throughout the house. Shades are already installed. The nice thing about that, it's tucked away from that main living space down here on the lower level. Extra wide vanity. You do have a closet around the corner. And since this is a Hollywood bathroom, you've got separate sinks, the shared shower and toilet, and then the additional sink. And this would be our 5th bedroom here in the tour. You get the large casement windows, a good feel. And this puts us right back out to the lower level. Now, one note about the builder, Bickimer Homes, we've talked about them. We've actually shown several of their properties on the channel before. Actually, quite a few here in Century Farms. We've got one coming up very soon, which is their new model. But we showed the Roosevelts, which is a 1.5 story up spiral staircase. It is absolutely beautiful. We showed the Riviera, which is a version of this plan. It had a nice Tudor look. And then, of course, we showed some of their properties in the Enclave at Manchester Park, which for the price, some of those came in around the 700s, the 800s, and the value you get at that price point with this builder is incredible, and that has to be one of their largest strengths. They've been around for 40+ years. They build in communities all over Kansas City. There are a number of communities coming up that they're expanding into, and I'll put some of those on the screen right here. The nice thing is they build at multiple different price points, tons of different styles, but always a good level of details, flow, and functionality for the price. Last part of the video, before we get to the sunken patio, one example of those details, you've got the unfinished storage. This is nice storage area before you even get to the patio. And Alex, I'll have you go in front of me here. But you get this nice calm space. This would typically be a daylight lot, which means usually you don't get an exit like this, but they went ahead and upgraded it. They made the best use of this lot they possibly could, and you get the functionality of the walkout right here. But the final part of the video, we mentioned this at the beginning, is the difference between new versus semi-new homes like this. You'll see homes like this pop up on the market from time to time. They're rare when they do, especially when they're this kind of builder in this kind of community. The big difference here, most of the homes that are brand new, you do have a timeline to wait. Most of them are selling before they're around 60 days out, which means if you are looking to be in a community like this, highly sought after, luxury amenities, brand new homes, price point around $950+. This is one of the only ones that you could find that's ready, available to move into right now. So you don't have to worry about controlling the timeline, dealing with any price increases, customizations, and everything's already done, including the car charger in the garage. You've also got the upgraded landscaping, the shades throughout, and the fence out back. Especially with this being a walkout with the sunken patio and this level of community. Things like this, properties like this, they don't tend to come up every single day, and they're very rare when they do. So any questions buying, building a new construction home in Kansas City, I will leave Rochelle's contact info down below. On the other hand, if you're looking at different communities, if you want to compare different builders, find some of the best options on the market, feel free to give me a phone call, text message, email. I'd love to set you up for success. Big thank you to Rochelle and the sellers for letting us show this one. And before you go, there will be 2 videos on the screen. I'm going to link, once it's uploaded, another property tour in this community. And right here, I'm going to put another property from Bickimer Homes. So click here or there, and I'll see you on the other side.